Mic's not on. Excellent.
Mhm.
Okay, now the mic is on. The
Hello,
mic is hot.
hello.
Hello. Welcome to another show. I'm your co-host here, Abraham Walker, Ask A Walker, and this is Crystal Walker. We have audio. Perfect. So tonight we are covering a topic about condos, two-bedroom condos to be exact, in the Arlington area. So we're looking at two-bedroom condos in Arlington under $700,000. As many of you all know from watching this show, we like to encourage people to purchase homes, and sometimes in this market, because it's such a high cost of living area, some of the townhouses or single family homes are out of your price range or out of your reach. And so some people delay getting into the real estate market because they can't get a townhouse or a single family home. Condos provide you with a great opportunity to start the real estate process, to start the home ownership process, build up some equity, and then 5-7 years from now, you'll be able to then move into a townhouse with some equity. Just in the last year or so, we've helped a couple clients who were living in a condo for about 5 to 7 years, probably one almost 10 years, and then they took that equity out of the condo and they moved it into a townhouse. So they had a larger down payment. They were able to compete in a competitive market, and they were able to essentially choose where they wanted to live because they had access to so much more resources. When you start a home buying journey, it's very likely that you have a lower down payment amount. It's very likely you don't have that much access to capital, or maybe you have to borrow money from like a family member. Why not start the process with condos? The data already shows that only 48% of condos in the Northern Virginia area are in a multiple offer situation, unlike 70% for the townhouses and just above 60% for single family homes. So when you're looking in this market, especially such an aggressive seller's market, condos are a great way for you to start that journey. And we want to give you a jumping off point. This isn't going to be every two-bedroom condo in Arlington. This isn't going to even be every two-bedroom condo in the Northern Virginia area. There's several places where you can find two-bedroom condos. This is just going to help you start your journey, start your research with this video.
Excellent. And another point is, of course, you can find $700,000 homes outside of Arlington, as far as townhomes and sometimes even single family homes. But if you want the location, if you're interested in staying in Arlington, then your options are going to be limited if your budget is below $700,000.
That's correct. So the properties the developments we're going to look at today are Odyssey, the Williamsburg, Station Square, the Continental, and Belvedere. But before we jump into the show, I just want to see if they have any questions before we begin, and so you can kind of have an idea of how we structure this live stream. First of all, we have a couple talking points that we'll walk through, some research that we've done about these different developments. In between each talking point, we will take a little breather and kind of answer any questions that you may have. So be sure to post your questions in the comment section in the chat, and then we'll get to it in between the different talking points. One thing I want to talk about before we start the show is we have one of our viewers who watches the show often make a suggestion as far as a piece of content, and the content centered around what should you do or when you're buying a house. You know, like a lot of people come to this channel, they're buying homes.
Mm-hmm.
And what should you do if you're a first time home buyer and now this is your first time owning a property? What are the steps you should take? What should you plan to take care of? How should you manage your budget? I think that's a great question that we'll shoot a video for in the future. If you have any content ideas, if you have anything that you want us to research on your behalf and bring to this channel, also post that in the comment section as well, and we'll add it to our list of topics that we'll cover. So before we begin, are there any questions out there in the audience?
Okay, and while we wait to see if we have any questions, I want to remind you guys that the Perfect Home Questionnaire is going to be linked down below in the description. So if you are interested in chatting with us about the relocating to the area, if you have questions that you don't want to ask in the chat, fill out the Perfect Home Questionnaire, and we will set up your Perfect Home consultation with Abraham sometime in the near future.
Excellent. You'll be laughing like this couple here. Okay, excellent. So it sounds like we don't have any questions at this time. So let's get into the show. So the first property we're talking about is the Odyssey. It's at 2001 15th Street North in the courthouse area. It's 16 stories with 273 units. Some of the units have private balconies. It's kind of like a luxury hotel style gym. One of my favorite gyms that I've visited thus far. You can walk to the courthouse metro stop, 24-hour concierge, and they have a rooftop heated swimming pool.
Yes, and that rooftop pool area also has a lounge and party room. There are also several other amenities. There's a 24-hour concierge. There's a clubhouse, business center, and there's also secure garage parking in this development as well.
Yeah, when I went to go take a look at this unit just, I guess like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago for a client, they say that the rooftop pool is open year round and it's supposed to be heated, but when I went, it was not open. So just keep that in mind that it may be closed for maintenance. But I did see that I think they have like a little jacuzzi or something like that, and they had steam coming out of the jacuzzi.
So that was open?
So it wasn't open, but I couldn't get through the door. Mm-hmm. But because the jacuzzi was running, I'm positive that it is available all year round. So just keep that in mind.
And you mentioned that it's walking distance to the courthouse metro. It's also pretty close to the Roslyn metro as well. There are also generous bike lanes in this area. So as far as we had someone actually make a comment earlier today on another video asking about car-free living. So this is definitely an area where you can live car-free. There are 2 metro stations, metro stops nearby. And then there's also bike lanes in that area as well.
Yes. And also there is a lot to do. There's a lot of things to walk to from your condominium, depending on what your lifestyle is. So I think that the Odyssey is a great place if you're looking for car-free living, and if you want to be kind of close to the thick of things, right? So maybe you're thinking about getting a car, you move to the area, you don't have a car, and you just want to test out car-free living. This is going to be a great place for you to move to at the beginning of your journey. So the Odyssey is located 2.5 miles from the Pentagon, 5.5 miles from Capitol Hill, 9 miles from Tyson's, 22 miles from Fort Belvoir, 22 miles from Dulles, and 38 miles from Quantico. One of the cool things about Arlington and why we probably do I would say we're leaning to doing more content about Arlington on our channel is just because so many people start their journey thinking that they're going to move to Arlington first, and then they come to terms with either there's about 200 transactions a month, so not that many deals to go around. There's only and of those 200 or so transactions, 60% of those transactions are going to be condos. So it is not a lot of options if you look for townhouses or single family houses, and then they expand their search. So what we're trying to give you an idea of is Arlington is going to be a great place to live if you are sensitive to commuting, and if you also like walkable locations, right? All right, so the just some, I know we don't have this slide up, but just some details about the overall sales prices here. You're looking for a 2-bedroom unit. You're looking at $601,000 with a low of $470,000 and a high of $1 million.
So yes, you can definitely find quite a few options below that $700,000 price point in the Odyssey.
That's correct. So the number 2 place on our list is going to be Williamsburg, the Williamsburg. It's a 13-story, 262 unit development with large floor plans. What's cool about this place, there are gas fireplaces. If you're looking for a condo, you'll come to see very quickly that having gas appliances or even a gas fireplace is going to be very rare. All units have outdoor space. There's a sauna room and guest parking.
In addition to that, they also have a game room. They have an outdoor swimming pool, large fitness center at this development, and also they have a significant amount of, like you already said, it, guest parking, which I think is pretty cool because a lot of places in Arlington in that area do not have guest parking. So if you do want to entertain, you have people coming over. Sometimes it can be a bit of a struggle as far as entertaining and people wanting to come over. One thing that this area does not have, which is different from a lot of other places, is it does not have a rooftop common area, which a lot of other developments in the area do have rooftop amenities.
Right. Rooftop decks are pretty cool to chill out and hang. And also, if you want to have a relaxing after work routine, going on a rooftop, kind of watching the sunset and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. But the Williamsburg does not have that.
But they do have outdoor space for all units, which is different from most other places. So that means you're either going to have a balcony or a sunroom, something, a little terrace, something that. So there's a place for you to relax after work, just not a rooftop.
That is correct. So the Williamsburg is 3 miles from the Pentagon, 6 miles from Capitol Hill, 9 miles to Tyson's, 22 miles again to Fort Belvoir and Dulles, and then 35 miles to Quantico.
And like the last property, is going to be close to the courthouse metro. And you're pretty much going to be close to those same amenities. You're not far from Whole Foods. You're walking distance to the courthouse farmers market. And then as far as creature comfort, you're near all the amenities of courthouse as well as the Clarendon area.
Yeah, and then the average sales price for 2-bedroom units in this development is $692,000. 14 2-bedroom units sold in 2021, and with a low of $600,000 to a high of $835,000. So the next place we're talking about is Station Square. So it's 10 stories with 309 units, 3 connected buildings, loft-style units on floors 1 through 4. I love a loft-style development or layout because it affords you the opportunity to have large pieces of artwork, whereas if you have 8.5 to 9 foot ceilings, you don't get that same luxury. Now this is a walk to the Clarendon metro stop, and now there's no gym or fitness center, but there is a gorgeous outdoor pool.
It's a hotel style pool at this location. They also have a community room, and the pool, as you said, it's a nice outdoor area, has a cascading pool. So like you said, it's kind of like that hotel style. It's only 1 block away from the metro. And again, it's going to be close to your supermarket. There are actually a couple supermarkets in this area. So you're not far from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. And again, you're close to all of the shopping at Clarendon Crossing. So that's going to be a lot of big box, or I wouldn't say big box, but maybe nationally owned stores like Pottery Barn and Container Store. Lots of restaurants in that area as well.
What else is nice about this place is this is one of the few places where you won't have to get your groceries delivered. So you could just walk to Trader Joe's. Now, Trader Joe's does have like a limited selection, but you can make a whole meal.
I mean, Whole Foods is nearby too, so there are options.
That's true. All right, now Station Square is going to be, again, close proximity to most things that you're commuting to. So 2.5 miles to the Pentagon, 6 miles to Capitol Hill, 9 miles to Tyson's Corner, 17 miles to Fort Belvoir, 22 miles to Dulles, and 35 miles to Quantico.
All right, and in 2021, they had 22 bedroom units sell in Station Square. The average sales price was $680,000 with a low of $590,000, and the highest sales price for a 2-bedroom was $973,000.
Excellent. So there's 2 more places on our list. We've already kind of talked about them in other videos, but we wanted to kind of just remind you that you can find 2-bedroom units in this development, the Continental. It's a 21-floor high-rise. Continental is actually one of my favorite developments in the area. So you have 411 units. It's the best rooftop common area I think that this area has to offer from a building of its age. You have 24-hour concierge, you have a theater room, you have a resort-like fitness center. So, and also with the fitness center is also on the rooftop as well, or that top floor as well. So I think that it's one of the one of the gems in our condo inventory. So if you're looking for, I think, like a premium experience, make sure you check out the Continental.
Absolutely. It's definitely more of a luxury high rise or luxury condo development, more so than some of the other ones that we've talked about. In addition to the amenities you mentioned, they also have a party room, computer room, and also there's an in-building dry cleaner at this development. In addition to all that, you're just 3 blocks from the Boston Metro. You're close to Boston Quarter, which is like a little shopping area that also has a number of really great restaurants like Ted's Bulletin, True Foods Kitchen, also Compass Coffee, which is very popular in that area. And you're also super close to Target and a few other restaurants and shopping spots as well.
Yeah, no, the Continental, like I said, it's one of my favorite places. I like the rooftop, and also they have a large like common area upstairs on the rooftop as well. So really the rooftop, I think, is almost exclusively dedicated to common area space. Now there are a couple of penthouse units up there, but it does offer you just a lot of places to relax, unwind, that some of the other developments do not offer in the Arlington area. So it's also only 6 miles to the Pentagon, 7 miles to Capitol Hill and Tyson's Corner, 22 miles to Fort Belvoir. Dulles is only 19 miles away, and then Quantico is 39 miles away.
And last year they had 12 sales of 2-bedroom units. The average sales price was $699,000 with the low of, the average sales price was $715,000 with a low of $699,000 and a high of $730,000. So even though the average price is a little bit above $700,000, you can see that they still had some units sell right below $700,000 at that $699,000 price point. So you could still get into a 2-bedroom in the Continental below $700,000.
That's correct. And so the last place on our list is going to be the Belvedere, coming in number 5. Again, we have spoken about the Belvedere, but we really talked about it from a 1-bedroom perspective. The Belvedere, or really the 2-bedroom perspective. So the Belvedere is going to be a development that I think has one of the more unique layouts that connects the living space to like some type of outdoor space. I think it's a unique design. I've seen people do some really interesting things with their units in that development. So you're looking at 525 units, 19 stories, large floor plans, large fitness center, 24-hour front desk. This is going to be the first place that we've toured that are really spoken about that has 2 tennis courts or even any
tennis court.
That's correct. There's also covered assigned parking. There's also a place for you to drop off your groceries in a covered area as well. So I guess you call it like a motor coach or just a covering that you can just drop your belongings off right there at the beginning at the front door. So
there's also a convenience store in the area. In the building as well. So there's a convenience store in the development, as well as outdoor pool. Let's see, you talk about the fitness center. There are a lot of amenities. There's also a library and a game room at this development. Yeah. I think what I like best about this one, like you said, is the open space, the outdoor space. Most of the units have a sunroom. Some also have balcony or terrace. And the unit you toured actually had a terrace and or a balcony and a sunroom. And so it's really interesting how they incorporate outdoor space into the units.
Also, the library is no joke. It's a legit library. It has a lot of books in it. And also they're serious about maintaining their library. So I think that you have in the Belvedere, it is going to be a little bit of an older building, but you do have a lot of residents who are very concerned about the development. In the lobby, when I toured just a couple weeks ago, they did have a spread kind of displaying what the future upgrades as far as the hallways and also the main front desk or concierge area will look like. So the development is about to go through an upgrade. You shouldn't really expect the upgrade or anything to change as far as the facade, the exterior of the property, but the interior over the next couple of years will evolve, right?
Yes. And in addition to the convenience store that I mentioned, they're also going to be within walking distance of Target and Safeway, as well as the Roslyn Metro Station.
Yep. Also, there's a Starbucks 2 blocks down, if you're a Starbucks person. So the Pentagon is going to be 2.5 miles away. Capitol Hill, just 6 miles away. 10 miles from Tyson's, 18 miles from Fort Belvoir, 22 miles from Dulles Airport, and then 35 miles from Quantico.
And last year, there were 17 sales of 2-bedroom units with the average sales price of $625,000. The low was $515,000, and the highest sales price for a 2-bedroom unit was $860,000.
That's correct. So that's it for tonight show. So these are $700,000 2-bedroom condos. We talked about the Odyssey, the Williamsburg, Station Square, the Continental, and
The Belvedere.
the Belvedere, right? So if you have any questions about just like the condo market in general, we did talk about the Arlington market, but there are several developments in the Alexandria City, Fairfax County, whether or not you're talking about Tyson's Corner or you're talking about something in the Herndon Reston area or up to the south in like the Alexandria, Kingstowne area or near any kind of metro station. So that is available to you. Again, I just want to let you know that I know that this housing market right now is a little stressful, but there is an opportunity for you to get into the real estate market, purchase a property, live in it in a little while, right? Live in it for a few years, build yourself some equity, and then move from your condo into a townhouse of your choosing or potentially a single family home. You know, if you get a killer raise at work or something like that, right? Yeah. All right. So let's see if we have any questions tonight. Any questions?
All right. Well, while we wait to see if anyone has any questions, I'll remind you again about the Perfect Home Questionnaire. So if you are interested in chatting with Abraham about your move, if you have any questions that you don't want to share right now but want to talk to him one-on-one, please complete the Perfect Home Questionnaire, which is going to be linked down below in the description so you can meet with Abraham soon.
Excellent. While we're waiting on any questions, one thing most people don't realize, and actually I didn't realize this until I pulled the numbers like last week when I was talking to another client about condos, is that condos actually outpaced townhouses as far as appreciation for the last 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yes. So even though we're not Arlington has a high concentration of condos, but Arlington is one of our smaller regions, especially when you compare it to Fairfax County, which has essentially like 4 times the number of transactions. But in general, condos will still provide you a good return on investment as far as appreciation is concerned. Excellent. So if we don't have any questions, we will end tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching the rebroadcast. Also, in the first quarter of 2022, we had 22 people reach out to us, 19 people reach out to us through the channel. So we want to thank you for your support. Thank you for chiming in. Also, thank you for giving us ideas as far as content. Any kind of research you would like us to do on your behalf, make sure you post it down below in the comment section. And until next time, peace.